Hi guys, it's your girl Riveting Radiance. If you want to see how to highlight and contour, then definitely stay tuned for this finished look. Depending on what you want highlighted and what you want contoured, everybody's is going to be a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with highlighting first. And I'm just going to take my concealer brush. I'm going to go ahead and dip it in the concealer that I'm wanting to use. I start out with underneath my eyes first. And you want to apply this in a V shape. Kind of like this V. And the purpose of highlighting, what you want to shine bright and to come forth, you're gonna make, you know, a lighter color, and that's why it's called highlighting. Just like if you were to highlight text, if you were in school, you would so that it would bring forth and it would stand out more so than anything else on the page. So that's why you highlight underneath your eyes, because a lot of people, they have dark circles, they have wrinkles, fine lines, you know, things like that. So you're concealing all of that. You're also making it brighter to give you that a wide awake, youthful look. So you put that underneath there like that. The second place I highlight is going to be down the bridge of my nose, and I will go down like this, just a little fine line. Now there is another way that you can make your nose look a little bit slimmer and make your bridge more defined without actually putting this color down the center, but I choose to put the color down the center just to emphasize it a little bit more. So I usually do that, and then I go down to my Cupid's bow. So I go down like that, and so I do want the bridge of my nose to come forth, so that's why I highlight it down the bridge. Now I'm also going to highlight a little bit above the eyebrows in the center of the forehead like this, because I do want that to have like a natural highlighted color effect there. I'm going to blend all of this a little bit later. And I also highlight my chin area right here, right up underneath the lip, just a little bit. Now another highlight that I notice a lot of people do is they will highlight their jawline, because they might want a more prominent jaw, and so it'll look a little bit more chiseled. So what they'll do is they'll highlight like around here, because as you can see, this is not defined. If you wanted to define this, you would just highlight to bring out where the jawline is. So like if I were to push this in like this, you know, push it in really tight, you can actually see my jawline right there like that. Well, without me doing that, it just kind of like my neck and my face runs together. So a lot of times they will highlight along this area just to bring that forth a little bit. I'm not really super concerned about that. Plus, I haven't actually mastered highlighting that portion of my face yet. I've mastered everything else, but I haven't mastered that part yet. So I'm still kind of working on that. If I get it to where I like it, and I may start doing it, I'll have a part 2 to this to show how to do that portion. So now that I've done all of the highlighting, what I'm going to do, go ahead and blend out. And what I'm going to use is my Beauty Blender sponge, and I'm just going to press this out. What you want to do too is you always want to set your concealer with something. And I'm going to use the Nye Luxury Powder. I'm going to go ahead and set it with that. I prefer to set with this foundation brush. It's a small little foundation brush I got from the drugstore, and it works beautifully for setting. It has very soft bristles, but they're also kind of firm at the same time. It's the perfect size. And so I would normally use this. Now I do have several other foundation brushes that I'm going to go ahead and show you that would not work. Here is an e.l.f. foundation brush, and here is a Sedona lace foundation brush. And so these are all the different types of foundation brushes. They pretty much look similar. And but I don't think that these two, the e.l.f. and the Sedona lace brush, will work as well as this drugstore one. So although they're one and the same, they're still kind of different. This one works perfectly for setting my highlight. So what I do is I just pour a little bit in the top like this, just a little bit, and then I take the brush and I dip it in here, and I don't actually swipe it, I press it in. Okay, so you can see the difference in this and this over here. It looks more natural. It's blended and so forth. So over here, I'm going to do the same thing. And make sure that before you use the beauty blender, that you wet it first. I'm going to kind of press this out up here to blend it. Some of this to set that up there. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this part. I'm just going to actually press out the outside because I just don't want harsh lines. I don't want to take away any product, so I'm just gonna do the outside of this. And then I'm going to do the same thing up my nose. Alright, and then I'm going to use the angle brush to dip it into the Banana Luxury Powder this time, just so I can go down the middle and set that. Okay, now once I've done that, you can kind of see the highlights. Now I'm going to take the Nutmeg Luxury Powder, and I am going to pour a little bit in the top. Take my angled blending brush, and I'll take this and I'm going to go alongside of the highlight that I put down the middle of the nose. You want to go kind of up in this curve right here just to make it look a little bit more natural. I usually just bring it all the way down. You can see how it kind of shapes the nose. Another contour that you may be familiar with is the cheeks. So you're going to take this angled fluffy brush. You will take the same Banana Nutmeg Luxury Powder, and with this you're going to do the hollows of the cheek. So you just run a little bit right there like that, and right here. And that'll make your face look slimmer going down this way. Like this look. Like that. Now, a lot of people too, what they'll do is they'll bring this up into the hairline up here, right around the forehead area. And just to give it more of a, to give your overall face a little bit more shape. So they'll do that. So this is where I was in my routine. I'm not done. I still have to do my lip and a couple of other things as well. But I'll come back to you with the finished look. Another good place to highlight is at the very top of your cheekbones. And I contoured here so you can see a darker line here, and then I put blush here on the cheeks, and I have concealer under my eye. But what I'm going to do is use a Micabella shimmer powder, and it looks like this. Really pretty gold color. And I'm just going to take this little drugstore brush. I just like that it's shaped like this. I'm going to dip that in there like that. Tap it off. And you don't want to do too much. I just do a little bit. And even if I do too much, I can always blend it out. But I'll go right above here, and I'll take it all the way up right there. And I'm going to blend that out in a minute. So right now it looks like really shimmery and kind of crazy. And then I just take this powder brush right here. It's just a little drugstore powder brush that I have. And I have a lot of powder brushes, but this one is the one that I think does the trick. This is an e.l.f. powder brush, I believe. And then this is a Sedona lace powder brush. And I have quite a few more, but I'm going to take this little small one because it does the job. So I place it with the other brush and I blend it out with this one. And I just go in little circular motions. So it gives you like that highlighted look above the cheekbones like that.